Hello there, health coaches. 9 times out of 10, when I'm speaking to one of you guys, you bring up your website. And I just want to let you know that your website is overrated. And I'd like you to know that I run basically my whole business through single landing pages that are unrelated to my website. Sometimes I wonder why I spent so much money on the site. No, it's very lovely. It is very lovely. It doesn't do much work for me, though. So today I want to talk about that, about the landing pages that I use. They are quick, they are easy, and they work extremely well. I'm joined by Bob from LeadPages to share exactly how I use this powerful tool. So Bob, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Michelle. It's a pleasure to be here, and I love working with people that transform the lives of their clients. So I think I'm in a good space today.
I've been using LeadPages for, I want to say, 8 years now, and it's like become such a mainstay in my business. Like I'm always saying, I could lose my website, I could lose access to social media. As long as I have my mailing list and I have my LeadPages, I'm good to go. So I want to just describe for everybody what we mean when we say LeadPages, because that is like the name of the product. But like in general, a page where you collect leads, right? Like a page where someone is opting in for your webinar, for your 5-day challenge, for your freebie PDF download, whatever that you're giving out for free. We're collecting email addresses. The term for that is leads. We're collecting leads. So when I say LeadPages, I'm referring to just that concept, but very specifically a tool called LeadPages that does this beautifully. And in our business, Bob, I know you work with people like across industries. So like I said, those are the most common. We're either running a free event or we're giving away some sort of download for free. I also use LeadPages for like when I have a webinar replay and I want to put the replay up on a page. I use it for wait lists. I got a wait list for an upcoming program. Here, give me your email address and you'll be placed on the wait list. What are some other really common uses for the landing pages that you see?
Yeah, so make sure that you are listening to what Michelle just said. So if you need to watch the replay, rewind, because those are the real bread and butter for your particular industry. You also think about putting together a virtual summit, some kind of a gathering of experts. You can be the Oprah Winfrey of the crew and interview a few people. Using LeadPages can do that for you really well. We use it for about pages when you're trying to showcase what your expertise is so that people know they can trust you. Link in bio pages. If you're using Instagram or any other social media channel, your bio, your profile has one link, and that link is really important to send somewhere that's going to drive business. And so a landing page with LeadPages is a great way to do that. And then of course your sales pages too. We're talking about lead generation, but you might as well sell your programs using LeadPages too. Being able to connect it to Stripe or even a third-party tool and generate revenue. So a lot of different ways to do it. We also use it for 404 error pages. So if you have a website and people click the wrong link from your fault or their fault, then you need a page that doesn't just look like a blank screen that says this page doesn't exist. That's what a 404 error page is. And about 10% of people's traffic is going to those kinds of pages at any particular time. And if you don't have a good landing page there, that traffic is just gone. They're not going to come back. So a lot of other areas, and would love to make sure you're using it, one thing at a time. And just to tell the difference between a landing page and a website page, it's just about giving people one thing to do, one thing to focus on, whether it's something to download or something to join, something to attend later. But it's just the one thing and not littered with all the options that you may offer for what people can find from you.
Right. If you're on somebody's website, it's going to be about me and read my blog and listen to my podcast and do this and join me on, Instagram and da, 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 da. There's all like navigation, and your people can navigate wherever they want to go. And often they go nowhere because it's too many choices. A landing page has that one action that you want somebody to take. I really like that definition. I'm going to use that. and in this way, there's nothing else. I'm always telling all of my Healthy Profit University members, get rid of your Facebook link at the bottom, get rid of the Instagram, get rid of the blog link. You don't want them to go anywhere else. You want them to give the email address or buy the thing, hit the button, and take that one main action. So I'm glad you brought up sales pages, by the way, because I create all of my sales pages with LeadPages. It connects beautifully to, like, if I'm on Thinkific, I can just link to the Thinkific checkout page, but I also use your built-in checkout if I'm selling a more simple product, where right there, it's so clean and easy to use. Boom, into your credit card, you're done, and the product gets delivered. So I love that you guys have that. And we want to really focus on the landing pages today, but for like 30 seconds, could you just give us the list of the other features that LeadPages has? Because I know you could do pop-up boxes, et cetera.
Yeah. Yeah. So full website, if you want to not have to hassle with WordPress, you can make your website with LeadPages. Pop-ups, if you do use WordPress, you need to be able to generate leads. You can put pop-ups, both triggering from a click, an image, a button, a text link, or after people have been on the page for a little while, you can have it pop up. Or if they go to leave the page, it can pop up. We also do alert bars, which are at the very top or the very bottom of a page. You see these
Right.
all the time. They're just a quick call out to announce something or call attention to something. That's why it's an alert bar, right? Here's something to be alerted about. So those are the main tools that are available within the LeadPages platform. And we've been around since 2012. So landing pages are the core of what people use LeadPages for.
Absolutely. I have definitely used the pop-ups. I've never built a website. I'm interested in that because it's so easy to build the landing pages. I'm assuming it's easy to build the web pages for the websites as well.
Yep.
But the pop-ups are, if you go to my website, you guys, any of my pop-ups are lead page pop-ups. Is that what we call it?
Yeah, we used to call them lead boxes back in the day when you got started, but
Right.
about 2 years ago, we decided to go ahead and make it the vernacular of everybody else's, which was pop-ups. So for SEO reasons and other, we decided to go that route, but they are
Okay.
pop-ups.
Cool. So we're going to talk more about landing pages and what you need and what you don't. I just real quick before we do anything, I want to let everybody know that this month, so February 2022, I'm able to offer you 30% off of LeadPages. That's not something I'm typically able to get for you guys. So I'm going to drop the link right now into the comments. For those of you listening, it is healthcoachpower.com/leadpages30. The number 30. And when you go to that link, not only will you be able to get the 30% off LeadPages, I've also put together a tutorial where you can see the inside of my LeadPages account. And I kind of walk you through how to design a page and just the kind of stuff I do every day in there. So you can see how it works. You're going to get the tutorial and the 30% off link when you go to healthcoachpower.com/leadpages30. So Bob, when I started my health coaching business, all I had was a WordPress blog. And so if I wanted to run a free webinar, here's what I would do. I would create a blog post because that's the only thing I could create on my site. And then I would put a headline and a graphic. And then underneath that, I'd have some way for people to sign up for my webinar. And then of course, like the navigation was at the top and I had a sidebar on the side, and it was just one of many, many blog posts. It was not ideal. That was like the early days of my business. But even now I see health coaches kind of doing something similar. Websites have come a long way. I think most people know if they have a website, they can like maybe create a new page on the website. And that could be one way if you needed a landing page. We already talked a little bit about why the other links in your template for your website can be distracting. We don't want a navigation bar on a landing page. But are there any other reasons that we should avoid using our website for these things?
Yeah, well, first of all, I wouldn't say don't use your website at all. You want to call attention to a webinar. You want to have some content that the next logical step may be the webinar or the webinar replay. So that's why the pop-ups are so important, and linking from a website or a blog post to a landing page is important. So kind of put all those pieces together for what can be a very effective, more comprehensive marketing campaign. But the beauty of a website, the beauty of a landing page instead is it has its own social media preview graphic, for example. So when you share it on LinkedIn or on Facebook or on other services, the graphic that shows up isn't here's my home website featured image. It is actually the image you choose within the LeadPages platform. You upload that specifically with the text and the description that people would see. So that's one reason. Another reason is because it is focused 100% on your event. And you can even go so far as to make different landing pages for the same event, depending on which version of the compelling message you want to share with particular groups, right? So for
Yes, I
example,
have done that. Wait, you tell your example, and then I'll share mine.
yeah, well, I'd love to hear yours too, but basically just think about, how your webinar or your lead magnet likely appeals to more than one demographic for you, right? Could be gender specific, age specific, lifestyle specific. Are they parents? Are they not parents? Do they live in the US or do they live in Australia or some other place? And for each of those individual cohorts of people where you think they need to hear a little bit different message, you can have a different landing page for each one of those. And you simply duplicate the first one you made and make the tweaks, and it takes like 3 minutes to make the next version,
Mhm.
and you send these pages out to different people. You can also split test your landing page so that if you are trying to figure out what your message should be, you can evaluate it based on real data without having to have a science degree or an analytics background. So there's a lot of reasons for that, but the main reason is people need to have as little to think about as possible when they're trying to make a decision. So one thing I want to say from the beginning, actually we're in the middle, I guess now, but from this starting point, is I want you to think differently about your business as a marketer. A lot of people who are health coaches that I've worked with in the past, they're a little bit nervous about sales. They're a little bit nervous, generally speaking, about coming across as too salesy. And I want you to think that your job as the marketer of your business is not to get people to buy. Your job is to get people to make a decision. If you can get people to make a decision and not procrastinate, not put it off, but say yes or no, and either way is fine with you, right? You can be unattached to the outcome. But if you can get them to make a decision within the first 5 minutes of coming across your page, then your business is going to just rocket. But if you don't think about it that way and you're only trying to sell, then a lot of your audience is going to be pushed away. So with the landing page, you're focused 100% on can my message reach the ideal person who I want to see show up in my business, get them to say yes or no within 5 minutes, hopefully within 1 minute. And that's why you keep it nice and short and you keep it clear to the single message you're trying to do. So I'd love to hear what your example would be as well, Michelle.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I like this idea, right? It's easy to duplicate your page for different audiences. Another reason that I duplicate a page for like the same event is if I want to track where leads are coming from. So if, let's say, just for ease of explanation, let's say that I'm going to be promoting my event on Instagram and I'm going to be promoting my event on my website. So either way, they're going to be linking to a lead page to sign up for my event. And I want to know which one is more effective. So I can actually create two of the same landing pages, and then the analytics get tracked. And I can see, for example, like Instagram brought 50% more people than what was on my website. It just helps you make better business decisions moving forward when you have that kind of data. So we use it a lot like that.
That's cool. And some people who are a little bit more like data sophisticated with tracking, you can use Google Analytics, of course, but I love this example because you can then say, I know exactly all my traffic from Facebook is here. All my traffic from website goes over here. You can also think about whether or not the people on your website who are visiting your landing page are visiting it on a mobile device or on a desktop. And then you can treat your pages differently, either within one page, or you can have entirely different pages based on what type of device that they're on.
Oh God, let's not even get into that, but that is one of my favorite features because I can't stand when I have a template from wherever, I'm trying to use and it looks good on the screen and then on the big screen, it looks terrible on a phone. So in Lead Pages, you can design specific to the device. And I really get into that, but you guys know I used to be an art director. So that's why I'm super nerdy about that. So that's for using, so we're talking about using our website as one option. Like I used to do, I used to use my blog whenever I had to promote an event and, just kind of you do your best with it because that's all you got. The other option that is freely available would be, we have a free MailChimp account or we have a free account with MailerLite or ConvertKit. Any of our email services are going to allow us to create landing pages as well. And typically those are landing pages for the sake of collecting an email address. Makes sense because it's an email service. They may not have landing pages for other things like the webinar replay or the 404 error pages that we were talking about. But anyway, you can create a landing page and they will have several different options for you to choose from. Many fewer. I don't know if you know off the top of your head, how many templates does Lead Pages have for like an opt-in page?
Yeah, but we're up to about 300. We've had more over time, but we've chopped some out. If they don't perform as well as we thought they would, we
Yeah.
kill them off, and then we invest in the ones that are working well, make them even better. And we also find that if you get much more than that, it's just too overwhelming to choose. So several hundred templates though.
Yeah, amazing. And I don't know how many the different services have, like MailChimp or whatever. I'll say they have maybe 10 or 20 or something like that. And I don't really always love them. And I noticed that they are difficult to maneuver. So maybe they have the text here and the form here, and you want it to be more like this, or you want to insert a graphic here, and you can't. They have certain things that you can change and certain things that you can't. Again, I used to be an art director, so this drives me bonkers. I want to be able to control the page. And we run into issues all the time, like with my Healthy Profit University members. I teach you guys how to put together your landing page. And we want it to look a certain way. And then sometimes you get in there and the templates just don't let you do it. Your call to action, your button ends up too low on the page. That's called below the fold. That's no good, but it's limiting what those templates can do. So one reason that I love LeadPages is that you can literally change everything. You can start with a blank page and build it from scratch. You can start with the template and change everything about it, the spacing, the elements on the page, the colors, everything. For me, that's like the best reason to use LeadPages over your MailChimp template. Bob, do you have some other things to add to that list?
I do. And first of all, I think that it's nice that they are trying to help users understand how to build their list faster and having the ability to do opt-in pages and so forth. But their bread and butter is delivering emails, getting into the inbox, making sure email templates are nice. And they've added on or bolted on this idea of landing pages because their customers ask them, hey, is there a way for me to do this? But they're not specialists in it, right? That's why you want to use LeadPages, because we've specialized in this since 2012. And the bigger reason, though, I'm going to ask Michelle a question. How many different email service providers have you used in the last 10 years for your business?
4.
I guarantee you, you will use more than one email provider in the life of your business. And what happens to those landing pages when you're on Aweber or MailChimp or ConvertKit and you switch to ConvertKit or MailChimp or Drip or ActiveCampaign or whatever? They're broken. They're dead. You no longer have the ability to take what you've created over the last 5 months, 5 years, and have it actually continue to grow your business. So we've been mentioning landing pages for specific timed events like a webinar or so forth, but your business is going to grow faster because you have a dozen evergreen landing pages over time. You don't need to all create them this month, but over time you'll create a dozen,
Definitely.
maybe 30, maybe 100. You can create as many as you want with LeadPages, but the point is you're going to have a bunch of them and they're going to be out there working for you 24/7, attracting leads. But if you change your email provider, you have just cut off all of those pages from working until you go back through and fix each one individually. And so with LeadPages, it's really easy for you to connect directly to MailChimp and ConvertKit and ActiveCampaign and Drip. And if you decide to change your mind and you start using another email service, you just go into your page and within 5 seconds, you disconnect one service and you plug in the other one and you're done. And you don't have to lose any of those conversions that you would otherwise be losing if you switch platforms. We like to say we play well with others, and this is one of the biggest ways that we do that, is we connect to all the services either directly or through Zapier. And if you change your mind, because you likely will, I pretty much guarantee that you will change your email provider at least once in your business life. You don't want your business to come to a crawl because you have that decision to make.
Right. And you know what? I'm a really big fan of having separate services, not having an all-in-one. There's a lot of these all-in-one services out there. Your website, you're this, you're that, you're the other thing. And I find it causes so many problems. And so this is an example. By having 2 services, your email service separate from your landing page service, it helps as your business grows. You have more opportunities. As your business grows, it doesn't cause you these big headaches. So I do like keeping things separate like that. You mentioned the word conversions. I think you said the word conversions, or you said converted. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that too, because having a pretty page is nice because we like pretty things. But having a professional looking, cleanly designed page with all of the proper elements that you need, nothing you don't, it's not just nice or make you look good, it also boosts your conversion rates. So when you're asking someone for an email address in exchange for that PDF that you're giving away, that checklist, that recipe book, whatever you guys have come up with, with MailChimp, you might see, I'm just making up numbers, but you might see your conversions. How many people come to the page versus how many give the email address? It could be 20%. It could be 10%. Sometimes new coaches are shocked because you realize anybody that comes to my page, well, obviously they're going to want it. It's free. But no, we work really hard on conversion rates, because if you have built the thing and you built the page and you have it all set up, the last thing you want someone to do is get to your page and go, looks kind of messy or unprofessional. I don't know if I can trust this person with my email address. Who is this person anyway? You really want it to look good, so you have that trust factor. And I guarantee every page I've ever created within LeadPages converts higher than pages that I was creating on other services before. Sometimes my pages convert at 80%, Bob.
Yeah, I believe it. I've seen it. I used to have my own business as well before I joined LeadPages, and my very best webinar was a 91% conversion rate. Now that was to people who knew the not only me but also the guests, so that's a little bit unfair. But you're absolutely right. The conversion rate does matter, and that's what our templates are designed for. They're not just designed to make you look good, but they're designed to get people to make that decision. And when you go to a competitive service, a lot of times they are very impressive with how beautiful their pages can be, but their button is like nowhere to be found above the fold, right? Or it's like nestled in because they want to be artsy. And, I'm speaking to a former art director, design matters, but form follows function. And the idea of our conversion focused templates is to get people to make those decisions faster. And the nice thing is you don't have to be a designer or go through some kind of program at SCAD or some other fancy school of art to know what actually is going to convert, because our designers have already put that in place. So all you need to do is swap out the words, kind of feel the vibe of the template, and change things kind of minimally, and then you're off and running. I don't know how often you've used this, Michelle, but back in the day it didn't exist. But about 2 years ago, we put in place in most of our landing page templates our lead meter, and which gives you a real-time indication of how likely it is for your page to convert. And it dings you if you do things that are not following the best practices that we see do convert. Your headlines are too long, your button color doesn't contrast enough with the background, or a lot of other factors that go into it. But again, you don't have to think too hard about it. It'll tell you, hey, guess what? Your page is less likely to convert because of this change you just made. So here's a recommendation for you to get back into it.
Yeah, there's like a checklist, and sometimes that is helpful because you always want to beat your own best score. So if your lead meter is giving you whatever 70% or something, you're like, well, what can I do better? And then it's the little checklist you go down. Oh, I have too many bullet points. Oh, I need to pick a different color. I think that's a nice tool for people who maybe aren't. I mean, how many health coaches are experts in designing landing pages? Very, very few. So we need this kind of help big time. And I agree, just because it looks pretty or it looks nice, looks pleasing, does not mean it works. So all of your templates look very clean and professional and nice, but we also know that they work. So that's so super important for conversions, because we want to get those 80%, 90%, or gosh, even just 50% conversion rates. If your conversion rate is like 5%, why bother?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all like the main stuff, like why I love LeadPages. We could talk about it forever. We could talk more about the analytics. We could talk more about all of the different functionality and all the different integrations that you guys have. But I think it's important that we just talk about this 30% off deal that's going on this month, because like I said, I think I could get you guys like 1 or 2 free weeks to check out LeadPages, and just see if you like it. But a discount like this I haven't seen. So can you tell us more about the 30% offer and, any restrictions around that we need to know before we go sign up?
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, make sure you're using the link that Michelle is providing for you below, because that's the link that's going to get you the 30%. If you go to the website and you just go to leadpages.com, you're not going to see this offer. This is a secret offer that is exclusive to just a handful of people. Michelle is one of those people, and that's because she's been such a great partner for so long. So it's 30% off your first purchase. So you can choose whether you want to do the standard plan, the pro plan, the monthly, or the annual, but it is the first purchase. So if you're doing the math, first of all, it's free for 14 days. So you don't actually pay anything right now. You take the next 2 weeks, the next fortnight to decide whether or not this is actually the great fit for you or not, and then make your decision. And then you decide, do I want all the bells and whistles, or do I just need the more simplified version? And my encouragement to you would be to start up that pro annual plan during the trial, because then you can see if you need all the things that we have at the pro level. And if you don't, you can always downgrade during your trial and switch it over to that standard level. And I would do the annual plan, because the annual plan already saves you 25% compared to monthly, but now you're getting 30% on top of that. So it's basically a half a year for free with this offer. So go to the link, get yourself set up for that 14 days, use as much of the product as you like, use the chat with our support team to get your questions answered, use the knowledge base and the help desk stuff. Come to my Wednesday afternoon coaching calls that I do every week for our group coaching, where I can give you feedback on that first landing page that you're doing. And you can actually even send in a request during your trial for feedback from one of our support team, and they'll go through and let you know, like, what's going on with this page, what do they like, what would they optimize, what would they change, and then also be part of our community. Our Facebook community is exclusive to customers. Nobody's in there like super hypey trying to sell you on all their stuff. We keep it focused on the questions and the use of lead pages, not a bunch of people spamming you with their offers. It's very important for us to have that kind of community, as I'm sure it is for you as well. Right. And the one caveat about the offer is that you do need to decide now. Now you're watching this maybe the day that we're doing it, but you have until the end of February for this offer, because as of March 1st, the offer does go away. And we'd still love for you to join us. If you're seeing this later, still get the 2-week free trial. On occasion, we run an offer, but we also do occasionally do like upgrade offers too. So don't feel bad if you start at a regular price. You might still be able to get into an upgrade a little bit later in the year. But right now, you don't have to worry. Just get it done. Spend the 2 weeks deciding whether or not it's right for you. And then at the two-week mark, we'll charge you 30% less than we should. The next time you're billed, it'll be the regular price. So that annual plan
you still
really
get the 2 weeks free. I'm so happy about that, because I do think you guys want to look at it and play around. And what you can do, again, let me give you the URL. You want to go to healthcoachpower.com/leadpages30. From there, you'll get my tutorial and you'll get the link to get your 30% off. So in your free 2 weeks, use the tutorial, mess around with it a little bit, try some things out, get some feedback, see how it's going to go. And then, when you're ready, you'll be able to get that 30% off. That is fantastic. Bob, what about existing customers, or is this for new customers only?
Yeah, so great question. So if you are an existing customer, you still want to click that link, you still want to go over and check out Michelle's tutorial and everything, but you can ask our support team for the link that will let you upgrade for the 30% off your upgrade. So if you're on a standard plan, you want to go to standard annual, you can use 30%. If you want to go from standard to pro, you can do that. If you're already at a pro annual level, there's an advanced plan, but that's usually not in the reach of where you need to be. It adds 5 accounts. It has all these other things to it. And so if you have purchased in the last 2 weeks, you're able to write in and we can give you a credit towards like extending your membership or whatever. So
you guys really thought this
yes,
through.
you can upgrade for sure. But just not through the link that you're giving. You do need to reach out to support to ask for that upgrade. Let them know you were on Michelle's session with Bob, and they'll get you connected and hooked up.
Awesome. And speaking of support, just real quick before we end, I wanted to lay into this a little bit, because a lot of times when we're using the free services, the free MailChimp account or whatever, and we have questions and we cannot figure it out, and why is it showing like this? And it's so frustrating. So even though I don't want you guys to spend more money than you need when you're starting your business, let's say you're spending whatever, X dollars a month, but you have no headaches. That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I love the support you guys have with LeadPages. I have literally sent in a support ticket. Like, I'm like, I can't figure this out. You're just having a bad day. And I've had someone from your team like go in and fix it. And then
Yeah.
they just let me know that it's all fixed. And I'm like, I want to kiss you. It's so wonderful. So we have chat support. You can open a ticket, I guess, with after hours. Just say a little bit more about all the different ways that we can contact support when we need it.
For sure. So we recently extended our chat support to all annual plans and any pro plan. So that's another reason why you want to go annual. Our team is mostly here in Minneapolis. There's some people around other parts of North America, but they're all based in this area and they know their stuff. They really know what they're doing. They're not in a call center overseas somewhere. For some businesses, that's fine. You can do what you're going to do. But for us, they're very knowledgeable. Some of them are entrepreneurs in their own right, or they came from that kind of a background. They're really good at what they do. They're very empathetic. When you have a question, they know that you're coming at it from a frustration point, and they're not going to try to belittle you or try to cajole you or anything like that. They're going to really take care of what your needs are and make sure your answers are there. And as Michelle mentioned, a lot of times they'll just go in and make the change if it's something super simple, but they're not your VA, right? So if there's something more extensive, they'll show you a video tutorial that's in our knowledge base. They'll point you a link to an article, or they'll have you come to my conversion coaching call, or have you go to the Facebook group. So to make sure that you get your answer in the best way possible. And again, that's available at all the plan levels, and at that annual level and or any pro, again, you get that chat support too. And I also would say this, Michelle, a lot of times people don't realize this, but I haven't done the math recently, but I believe our average tenure at LeadPages support is over 2.5 years. So you don't just have people who are here for 3 months and then they go and work somewhere else. They come here, they know the product really well. They also understand the email providers and the other systems. And although they can't provide support for those things, they do know the kinds of questions you're asking and can give you guidance towards solving something that may not even be part of the LeadPages challenges you might be running into, which, as a small business owner, you're going to run into stuff, and how it connects to LeadPages, how it all fills in the details is important.
It sure is. Well, anyway, to sum it up, the support is amazing. I've been
You're
very
awesome.
pleased. That's why I'm continuing to be a customer after all these years, and I have no plans to take my business elsewhere, because I mean, my gosh, like I said, I run my whole business through LeadPages. So again, if you guys are interested in checking out, get those 2 weeks for free, 30% off afterwards, plus my tutorial that's going to walk you through exactly how to build your landing page. You can go to healthcoachpower.com/leadpages30. Bob, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Michelle. It was a pleasure. And I can't wait to see the questions and such that came out of the live group. But if you do have additional questions, make sure you connect with me. I'm at Bob the Teacher everywhere. And obviously in the Facebook community once you sign up for LeadPages.
Sounds good. Thanks so much. See you guys next time.